Picture this. You're standing in your kitchen staring at two containers of salt. One says rock salt, and the other proudly reads iodized salt. Suddenly, you feel like you're on a game show where the prize is eternal cooking glory. But the host forgot to explain the rules. Which salt do you use? What's the difference? And does it even matter if you sprinkle one or the other on your fried egg? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the salty truth behind rock salt and iodized salt. We'll talk about where they come from, how they're made, what makes them unique, and why you might actually care. So by the end of this video, you will truly know about what's the real difference of rock salt and iodized salt, right here on History of Food. Let's start with rock salt. If salt had a rugged, outdoorsy cousin who chops wood for fun and drinks black coffee without sugar, that would be rock salt. The name gives it away. It's salt that comes directly from rocks, usually mined from underground deposits formed millions of years ago when ancient seas evaporated. Unlike the fine white crystals you see in your average salt shaker, rock salt is chunky, irregular, and looks like something you'd throw at a demon in a low-budget horror movie. In fact, rock salt crystals can range from pebble-sized to full-on gravel. You've probably seen it sold in bags for de-icing roads in snowy countries, or used in spa lamps that glow pink and claim to balance your aura. But don't let its rugged appearance fool you. Rock salt can absolutely end up in your food. In kitchens, it's often used in traditional dishes, curing meats, or even in the old-school way of making homemade ice cream by keeping the mixture super cold. Flavor-wise, it's less refined, sometimes carrying trace minerals like magnesium, calcium, or potassium, which can give it a slightly earthier taste compared to plain table salt. Now let's move over to iodized salt, the clean-cut, polished sibling who always wears a neat collared shirt. Iodized salt is basically regular table salt, but with an important twist. It's been fortified with iodine. Why? Well, not too long ago, iodine deficiency was a serious health issue in many parts of the world. A lack of iodine in your diet can cause goiter, which makes the thyroid gland swell up. Nobody wanted that. So, public health experts thought, what's one thing almost everyone eats every day? The answer? Salt. So starting in the early 20th century, many countries began adding iodine to salt as a cheap, effective way to prevent iodine deficiency. So when you sprinkle iodized salt on your fries, you're not just adding flavor, you're actually doing your thyroid a small favor too. Taste-wise, it's practically the same as regular salt, though some people claim they can detect a faint chemical note. But for most of us, it's completely unnoticeable. Here's the thing. Both rock salt and iodized salt are, at their core, just sodium chloride. They'll both make your food salty. The real differences lie in texture, processing, and health benefits. Rock salt is less processed, often containing other natural minerals. It has a coarser texture and is sometimes valued for its natural vibe. Think rustic, artisanal, Instagram-friendly charcuterie boards. Iodized salt, on the other hand, is refined to be uniform, free-flowing, and easy to sprinkle from a shaker. Its big claim to fame is the added iodine, which plays a vital role in preventing thyroid issues. So it's like comparing organic farmers market carrots with supermarket carrots that come pre-washed in neat plastic bags. Same family, slightly different perks. Different cultures also lean on these salts in interesting ways. In South Asian cooking, for instance, you might come across kala namak, a type of rock salt with a sulfuric, eggy aroma that adds a unique funk to dishes like chaat. Meanwhile, in the West, iodized salt became the default at kitchen tables for decades because of its public health mission. In gourmet cooking, chefs sometimes prefer rock salt or sea salt for finishing dishes because of its larger crystals and crunch. There's something oddly satisfying about biting into a steak and getting that little pop of flaky salt. On the flip side, if you're baking a cake, iodized salt, or any finely ground salt, blends more evenly into the dough, so you don't end up with one unfortunate salty pocket. Now, let's go a bit deeper into iodine. Our thyroid gland, that butterfly-shaped organ in your neck, uses iodine to produce hormones that regulate growth, energy, and metabolism. Without enough iodine, your thyroid can go haywire, leading to fatigue, weight changes, or even developmental issues in children. That's why iodized salt was such a genius invention. It turned something as ordinary as seasoning your food into a quiet public health victory. Today, in many countries, cases of goiter have dropped dramatically thanks to iodized salt. But here's the twist. In modern diets, especially in wealthier countries, people are getting iodine from other sources too, like dairy, seafood, or supplements. Some folks are now turning back to natural salts, like rock salt, Himalayan pink salt, or sea salt, arguing that iodine isn't as necessary as before. Still, for populations where iodine deficiency remains a risk, iodized salt continues to be a simple, life-saving choice. Let's clear up a couple of myths while we're here. First, some people believe rock salt is automatically healthier than iodized salt because it's natural. But natural doesn't always mean better. Rock salt may contain extra minerals, but they're usually in trace amounts that don't make a huge difference nutritionally. At the end of the day, it's still mostly sodium chloride. Second, some worry that iodized salt tastes weird. For most people, though, it tastes exactly like regular salt. Unless you're some kind of salt sommelier with a palate trained like a fine wine critic, you're probably not going to notice a difference. And lastly, Himalayan pink salt, technically a type of rock salt, gets a lot of hype for its healing properties. Yes, it's pretty, and yes, it has trace minerals, but will it balance your chakras or detox your body? Sorry, not really. It's salt. Use it if you like the taste or the aesthetic, but don't expect miracles. At the end of the day, the difference between rock salt and iodized salt comes down to this. One is raw and rugged, straight from the earth, while the other is refined and fortified for health. Rock salt offers variety and texture, while iodized salt quietly saves lives by preventing iodine deficiency. Neither is inherently better, they just serve different purposes. So the next time you're standing in your kitchen, holding both in your hands like you're about to make the world's saltiest choice, remember, you don't have to stress. Use what fits the recipe, your health needs, or even just your mood. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.